Hello guys and welcome to another FPL tips live stream. I hope you've all had a good week and you got some good scores in game week 15. I'll be previewing game week 16 as well as giving a sort of update on anything we want to talk about from game week 15. So let's see who we've got watching. Say hello in the chat if you're watching. So, hello Alan, welcome. Jim, Clermont, welcome all of you. Abjama, welcome. Just before we get into the stream, of course you guys might have seen I've recently got a stream sponsor in Fantasy Football Factory. The link is there if you can read it, www.fantasyfootballfactory.co.uk, with code FFF 10% FPL tips. You'll get 10% off every order as well as a free pen. It's good stuff if you want prizes for your mini leagues, if you want presents. Christmas is coming up as well, and also you guys might have seen they personalised these mugs for us for my team for FPLTIPZ's great tournament which goes on all season. And so if you message them directly, they'll personalize them in any way you want for your team, for your family, for anything. So yeah, great guys, go check them out. Really friendly. So yeah, and anything you do will then help support the channel. So let's get straight into it. We'll get to my team in a minute. So is Alba essential? I'd say no. I'd say he's probably not. Not having him or any Arsenal player, you might struggle. I'd say, but I wouldn't say essential. Um, they look good, yes, and he does look good, better against smaller teams, and they play a lot of them. You'll see my transfer that I've made in a little bit. I haven't brought in Aubameyang, but I've gone for one of his teammates. So yeah. Let's keep going. So is Alba essential? No. You need one of him and Kane in your team over this period, though. Is the way I'd look at it. One of them is pretty much essential, especially with the way Aguero is playing. You don't want he's not taking up that premium forward spot. So yeah. How bad is Martial's injury? If you guys don't already, follow Ben Dinnery on Twitter. He gives great updates and videos and things like that. And he thinks, from what I've read and from what he says, we're unlikely to get any minutes out of him this weekend. But then the weekend after, he's should be fine. So it's a short term thing. Wait on press conferences, of course, but yeah. So good evening from South Africa. Welcome. Is Salah and Arnie into Kane and Son worth it? Have Alba up top and Sterling, Anderson, Fraser in mid? Yes, they're good moves. Salah's not looked great, but Kane and Son could be a bit of a risky one. So yeah. Am I jittery, or is that just on my screen? I seem to be jittery. I think it's just on mine. My stream goes slow when my laptop goes slow when I stream. But yeah, good moves overall. Maybe you could look elsewhere than Son. The Everton guys do look good, but no, overall good moves. I don't think any player is essential. Everyone said Hazard was set and forget captain and change quickly, very quickly, very, very quickly. Exactly. No one is essential, really. No one's been that good to make them essential. Ericsson, Son, or Ali. I'm currently on wildcard, not Ali. People were picking Ali over Son because he was rotation proof, but we saw at the weekend he's not. So Son or Ericsson for me. If you can stretch, Ericsson probably the best, but Son, it looks like he's going to be playing most games, so he is a great option actually. So probably Son if you can afford the odd bit of rotation here and there. If you need someone to play every game, then go Ericsson. So Arsenal assets are good to have, not essential exactly. Decide to go with Albert and Kane to cover the points both of them offer. Okay, yeah. Is it worth taking out Martial for a hit? If you were going to take him out anyway, yes. If you're not going to take him out, then no. Yeah, if you're not going to take him out, then let me just move that back. There we go. If you're not going to take him out, then no. Let me just. Sorry, I'm just trying to reposition my laptop to not get the light in. Sorry. Yeah, right. That's better. If you don't have either Sterling or Son, you need to, exactly. If you don't have one of them, I think you're doing something very wrong. You need one at least. City average 3 goals per game. Oh, you think City will win by 2 goals? I think we'll be lucky if it will be by 2 goals. I'm gonna get onto number 2. The teams in London are the big talking point at the moment. I wanted to go through them all. Chelsea especially. Don't get me started on how we're playing at the moment. Really, really not good. Wilson proving to be set and forget. If he can score away at City, then he can score against anyone. True. And he was one I really considered. But it's just his fixtures. I just struggle with his fixtures, and I seem to regret it every week. Not having him in. But yeah, not for me currently. Yeah. Fine. I'll do. Sorry for all the moving about. So let's get on to my team quickly, and then we can have a look at the team that I've got, the transfers I made already, because the price changes seem to be going pretty crazy at the moment. So my team, Fabianski, I mean, it's a shame to lose his clean sheet points, but 9, again, he's doing great. Trent came on, nearly had a clean sheet, it's a shame. The Laporte 1-pointer, to be honest, didn't do anything bad for me, so not an issue. Wan-Bissaka, Alonso, just a waste of space in most teams now, to be honest. I'll get on to them. Sane, great again, scores again. Patterson, Felipe Anderson was a bit of a shame. Patterson, I don't know why he's playing up front. I'd have thought he'd been on pens, but obviously not. Richarlison, great. Kane, great. Arnautovic, 1-pointer, infuriating to be honest. I had him in for 1 game, and I could have had anyone, and I picked a person who scored 0. Kamara on the bench. It's good to have him there if I ever need him. It's nice to see that he starts as well and played quite well. And he played well against Chelsea as well. So let's get back to the questions. Did you watch Chelsea game yesterday? Was Alonso as bad as people making out? It's not just yesterday. I got to be honest. He's got away with being poor defensively because of the way he attacks. But people have noticed being poor defensively for a long time, and he always was under Conte. But he's playing wing back there. So yeah. He's always been poor defensively. He's been bad the past few weeks, attacking and defensively. To be honest, I think he won't get dropped quite yet, but I think he should. And we'll see what Sarri does, but I don't think he seems to have lost it in some way. He was so bad these past few weeks. Is that he has been suffering from an injury, so yeah. If that's got something to do with it, but I wouldn't worry about that. I'm really looking to get him out soon. Yeah. Is there even a case for not having Albert and Kane? Both Laka, Sterling, Sane, Wilson, Jimenez, Son can get them all if I don't have. You don't need Kane or Albert if you want to cover them. There are great options. No one's essential. No one is essential this season. And we've seen that no one is consistent enough to be essential. So if you think you got a better team not having them in, then go for it. But they having at least one of them is what I'd suggest, to be honest. What to do with Alonso? Looking to sell Alonso for Trippier. It could be a good move, but Trippier's picked up another injury. He's got a recurring injury, so I wouldn't look at him. He's got one of those injuries that will keep him out for this game and that game every so often, and then a bit like Arnautovic's. and then one day he'll get something bad and it'll put him out for a while. So I wouldn't look at Trippier, but I'm looking to sell him. I'm actually looking to sell him and, Patterson maybe in my team and switch formations. Have you ever taken -4 2 weeks in a row? This is the thing, and I was talking to one of my friends about it earlier, who's in one of my leagues with me, is that taking a -4, you could take a -4 every single week and beat someone who doesn't take a single one. It depends how these hits go, and if you think it's really worthwhile, then do it. A hit's as valuable and as worthwhile depending on the points you gain from doing that hit, as for any transfer. So in my mind, every transfer I do is an effective 4 points, because if you don't make a transfer one week, you could have used it the next week. So there's nothing wrong with taking 4 points 2 weeks in a row at all. I've taken one hit all season, but I'm at 140k, so there are people inside the top 100, top 10 who would have taken many more hits. So it's not a bad thing at all. Kane and Alba for the Christmas fixtures. I mean, yeah, they both look like great options. I'm looking at Lacazette and Felipe Anderson for Hazard and success. It looks good, right? Absolutely. Seems like a no-brainer, to be honest. If you've got City mids, that is. Yeah. Clement, if you're going to link me, I think you have to put FPL tips, not just tips. So, yeah, FPL tips. Any suggestions on Alonso replacement? Sold Doherty for Kolasinac, didn't also on my radio. I swear, I'm sure he picked up a knock, but he didn't seem to come off. So Din is a good one. I mean, you can have any defender in the game you want. Robertson, Laporte, a Spurs defender, Spurs centre back. Any of these, there are loads. It depends whether you want to go cheap or expensive. You're currently at 13k. That's a very good rank. Well done. Congratulations. I really want Sane, but it would mean taking a hit this week. I don't know if that's a good idea. I personally think City are going to batter Chelsea. So I'll get my team for next week up. There you go. And you'll see I'm starting all three of my City players away at Chelsea, and I'm benching Marcus Alonso. This is how I'm lining up. Lacazette currently captain. He came in. That's my week. That's my transfer this week. Lacazette in for Arnautovic. Yeah, that's how I line up. So I think Sane. I think City mids will still do well this week. Chelsea have been poor. I can see them. I might be pleasantly surprised, but I don't think I will. If I'm honest. I really want Sane. Gomez injured. Lovren at 4.9. Yes. You do worry Matip might get some minutes, and he probably still will. But I think Lovren, has proved himself to be second choice. Yeah, Lovren is definitely second choice. Second choice after Van Dijk. So yeah, first choice in the second spot. Now Gomez is injured, so not a bad shout at all. So yeah, so this is my team. I wildcarded last week, as you all know. Just one little tip that I've given a few people. I don't want to go spreading it too far. Is that you see I've got Fernandes in there. Fernandes and Wan-Bissaka rotate until the end of the season. The hardest game you have to play, I think, is Wan-Bissaka. Is one of them away at Watford. I think it's Palace. And that is considerably the hardest game they have. They have a few, like at home to Watford and things like that, but it's the hardest away game they have by a long way. So the two of them in my team will probably stay there. Newcastle and Palace, can easily keep clean sheets. So I think I'm very happy that I found that, and something that I would look at. Is a good way to have a sort of cheap player in your defence, but you know that you're going to get a good fixture from them every week. I think you should go Trent though. He's got a better chance to start now. Yeah, I think Trent is definitely a better option than Lovren. Trent will play most games now. Klein is the only real threat to play in that right back spot, and he will probably play a game over this Christmas period, but few. He'll have to play Trent. Great tip. I don't know whether you're talking to Ryan or to me, but yeah, look at that Newcastle Palace rotation. It is. I stumbled upon it using the FPL rotation planner, trying a few things out, and they are literally seem to work until the end of the season. So yeah, those two will be staying in my team. Yeah, so let's get on to today's topics. Let's start with number 2, London, the London teams, and we'll get to captain picks maybe a bit later. Do have to watch out that FPL family are live streaming at 8, so I'm sure a lot of you will want to be watching that. And I'm hungry and haven't eaten anything. Had to come and do this for you all. I hope the train's not too loud. I do live right next to a station. Arnautovic to Kamara and Martial to Sane. Good moves, absolutely. Kamara looks great, and he has looked great. So he has looked good the past 2 games. The way he played against Chelsea, he bullied our defence. He's an absolute bulldozer. So yeah, I think they're good moves. Hopefully you don't have to play Kamara. If you can sit on your bench, then absolutely. Alba captain, again a good one, but we'll get to captaincy picks in a minute. So London. Let's start with Spurs. Spurs looked great. They were very unfortunate. Well, they weren't unfortunate to concede. Actually, they deserved to concede. They weren't that great defensively. Eriksen picked up an assist. I think again. Let me just check that. I think I'm right in saying. I'm saying that we'll move on. Son looked great again, and Kane looked great again. The pair of them could have returned. They could have scored 5. So sorry, Spurs did. Yeah, Eriksen got an assist. So yeah, assist and clean sheet point. Oh, we got subbed off before the yeah, Son and Kane. It could have been 5 easily between them. So the pair of them are really good picks. On to Arsenal. As I've said before, for me the only picks are really Bellerin, maybe Kolasinac now. Once we know the position of Monreal, but with holding out, Monreal might fill that centre back spot, which makes Kolasinac a good option. And then Aubameyang and Lacazette. Those are the 4 options, and all good options. I really would advise having an Arsenal player. The way they look to play, we haven't seen from an Arsenal side in a long time. You've got to remember their manager used to manage PSG, and the way they used to score goals. So yeah, I think you need an Arsenal player. And then finally we move on to Chelsea. Where do we begin? I'll do a quick player by player analysis on our dreadful performances. Kepa, still better than Courtois. Azpilicueta has been alright. Rudiger, one of the best centre backs in the league. Luiz, one of the worst. Alonso, dreadful, can't cross, can't defend. Jorginho, he's been alright. Yeah, he's been playing quite well. A lot of people aren't pleased with the way him and Kante play. You've got to trust the system that Sarri is playing. That's not what I'm having it go at. Kante, yes, is a better CDM, but he cannot play in that holding role. He cannot play there. It's just not the way the system is set up. So the midfield, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has to start, and our front 3 has to be Hazard, Giroud, and then Pedro or Hudson-Odoi. Willian needs to go. Morata needs to go. The pair of them. I can't express that. Hudson-Odoi is one for the future. And something I was talking to my brother about is we seem to have this problem. It's not a new problem, this team. Sarri struggled to score goals with the team. He managed to get them to defend. Sarri is struggling to score goals. We don't have a lot of goals. We've got an old squad as well. We're talking about youngsters that play in our team. Ruben Loftus-Cheek doesn't always start. That's about it. Kepa, I mean, you can't really talk about keepers. Doesn't really count. Hudson-Odoi can't even get on the bench. It's just so wrong. But anyway, I'll stop ranting about Chelsea. Hazard looks alright, returning. not necessarily an instant sell. We've got good fixtures after this one, so if you want to keep him, do keep him. The rest of them, I'd probably look to get rid of at some point. Yeah, if you're not playing Kamara too often, then yeah, he's a good pick. You know that -4 you could get Bernardo Silva instead of Son, or is he too much of rotation risk? I don't think Bernardo Silva and Son, I reckon they're on about the same level of rotation. To be honest, Bernardo Silva's playing very well, so I have to say, I think we'll just talk quickly on rotation. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know about whether rotation is going to get worse or better. I was thinking about maybe Vieto or from Brighton. I'm not sure about either of them. Vieto from Fulham doesn't seem to be playing, does he? Don't think so. Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, rotation. Right, so they play at the weekend. A lot of players have had a rest, so this weekend I expect most first teams to play. Midweek, they play Champions League. Now, Spurs and Liverpool need a win, so their teams might get rotated either side. City are already through, Chelsea are already through, and Arsenal always through, in Europa League. So I expect minimal rotation from those three teams especially. Sorry, Vieto for Fulham? Do you mean, Ryan, do you mean he plays for Fulham? The Vieto... Yeah, Ryan, he played 45 minutes against Leicester. He hasn't, and then he was playing at the start of the season, but he hasn't been picked recently. Yeah, he's been dropped. He got dropped a few weeks ago. Not one I'd be looking at. Trippier, sorry. Yeah, rotation. So there is weekend football, then Champions League, where Liverpool and Spurs will need to rotate around to make sure their players are all fit. Then it's weekend football. Then it's cup games where players will get rested then. And then we have weekend football and then midweek. The next few game weeks, I think you'll be alright for rotation. But make sure over those next few weeks, if you have to sort of reshuffle things to make sure for the sort of end of December, beginning of January, those sort of 5 game weeks we get in about 3 weeks, that is when you'll need your bench. The next few, we should be all right. Maybe 1 or 2 off the bench. So I'd go Kamara. Liverpool, I mean, their fixture's getting worse. Salah started on the bench but still got an assist. Again, I think Salah's in the same boat as Hazard. They seem to be returning, but those City mids seem to be doing a job every week they play. So, personally, I'd prefer the City mids, but I wouldn't be completely against it if you decided to keep Hazard or Salah. Mane seems to be injured and doesn't seem to be back in training yet. Robertson is back in training and should be fine for the weekend. Shaqiri looks quite good again. Seems to be playing a lot of minutes. I know that was because they rotated mid in this game with 15. But Shaqiri's, I mean, he's 7 million, so there are better options. But it's not an awful shout. I was considering him, and I still am instead of Patterson in my lineup like that. Sterling or Hazard? I think Sterling over them personally. Fulham's next 3 fixtures, yeah, sure. They play Man U away, and then they play West Ham at home, Newcastle away, and I imagine Kamara starts at least 2 of them. I will show you. If I show you, I'll go on any of them fixtures. This is what their fixtures look like. I mean, if he's a 4.3 defender starting those, that's after the United game. This is what they have. 4.3 playing those games. I think he's absolutely worth it. Better pick than success in my opinion. And I'm glad I kept him. I'll probably wait and see on Alonso, but I wouldn't race to use your transfer there, but I'm not keeping him much longer, I don't think. He's on less set pieces. He can't attack, he can't defend. Chelsea can't attack, Chelsea can't defend. Yeah, you could absolutely, Ryan, play in one of those games. Whew. Just a breather. Trippier. Well, he's picked up a knock. I wouldn't be getting him, and I said this earlier, but you might not have been in the stream. Is he picked up a knock? He's got a recurring problem. We've been told that this week. In the past today, I think we've been told that he's got a recurring injury, which will just keep niggling away. He cannot play every game, so I would steer clear of him. To be honest, I wouldn't go for him. If I mean, the chips aren't worth 100 points. For me, the triple captain is worth 15. The bench boost is probably worth maybe not quite that 10. So that's 25. And then the free hit can get you a lot. So that's probably worth another 25. So you've got probably 75 worth of points there for him. But and that only leaves 25 more to make up. So that's not too bad. Replacement for Alonso. I mean, Robertson, one of the Spurs centre backs. Laporte, if you want to go cheaper. Bellerin, one of the Arsenal defenders. Bellerin, Kolasinac, Doherty, Dean puts in an extraordinary amount of crosses if you want someone like that. So I will get onto captain picks in a moment. But before I do, what's going on here? Let's get onto the live squad ratings. That is the hashtag for this stream. So tweet out your team with hashtag that. Any money in the bank, any free transfers left, and any notes, and we will get to doing them in a minute. As to captaincy picks, now Kane is an obvious one, but he's away at Leicester. Lacazette and Aubameyang. Now Aubameyang has played a hell of a lot of minutes, but they don't play midweek, and he'll probably not play midweek. So I imagine that he probably will start this week, even if he doesn't play at all. But he could be pushed on the wing if Lacazette gets a start. So the Arsenal strikers, both of them are good picks. Kane, good pick. Salah, if you have him, absolutely. And even the Man City players, I think there are actually a lot of picks, and I think Sterling could return a lot of points as well. Yeah. So for me, it's on Lacazette, Kane, Vice currently, because I think Lacazette, that Huddersfield team, it's more because Huddersfield is so bad, is why I'm giving it to him. Yeah. For me, Lacazette, but Salah's predicted to score the most points, I think, and he had a rest, and they'll have Firmino will be starting as well, so Salah's also a good shout. Let me know, who are you guys captaining? Who are you all captaining? But yeah, guys, go and tweet out hashtag tips Kane, and we will get to doing that in just a minute. Aubameyang, yeah, a good shout, absolutely. Lacazette, you're with me. Hopefully he gets a start, and if he does, I mean, I'm quietly confident I think that you might get something from it, but we will see. He's not always the most explosive, Lacazette, is the only issue, but yeah, Kane, yeah, I mean, I feel like I might be I feel like Kane might be the one I should be going for, but that home game against Huddersfield is just too good to ignore for me. So yeah, guys, tweet out a picture of your squad with the hashtag TipsKane, and I will get to helping you with it in just a moment. So Sterling could be a great differential, absolutely. I think he will probably get points in this game. We just look so poor. Yeah, Kane. Kane is definitely one that you can be confident captaining. So, right, let's just get into, how do I do this? Display capture, I think. Order. Bear with me. So we get to just here. There. Yeah, right. So, right. Is that? Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, guys, so tweet out your, so tweet out your teams like this, right? So let's start with Sean. He can't be here, but he's always in the stream, and he let me know. So I asked him to tweet it out early. His team's in a bit of a state. So Robertson, Trent, Alonso, Doherty, Wan-Bissaka. His team's. So obviously, Arnautovic needs to go. 0.8 in the bank. Um, 0.8 in the bank. Okay, so Arnautovic obviously has to go. I mean, Arnautovic to Kamara and bringing in Felipe Anderson for billing is oh no, you've already got Felipe Anderson. Ignore that. But him down to someone really cheap could work. If not Mitrovic, as we said, Fulham's fixtures are really good. I think that's probably who I'd go for as my Arnautovic replacement. And it would give you slightly more in the bank as well to use elsewhere, maybe on billing or someone else, Mane. Yeah, that's what I'd do on that team, to be honest. Just a straight transfer on Arnautovic to Mitrovic. Did you have Hazard and sold him recently? So I was on my wild card, if you didn't know, leading up to game week 15 that we've just had. And yes, I sold him and Salah on that. Yeah, I have sold him, and I think it's probably time. There are better options for the price. I don't know why these are sorting them in the backwards order, but anyway. So, sorry, who's this from? Jim. Arnautovic, Martial, Robertson, Lacazette, and Tar. Then I can do what? Oh, Arnautovic to Lacazette, Martial to Felipe Anderson, and Robertson to Trent. Yes, but that's not. Oh, that's a minus. That's a hefty -8. But with them, two of them being injured, three of them, yeah, it probably is worth a 8 -8 just to sort that out, and then it allows you to do Hazard to Sterling. Yeah, definitely. No, good moves. Not much else I'd suggest unless you just went for Mitrovic instead of Arnautovic and then did. Hang on a minute. I mean, you could just do. Yeah, I suppose you want the Arsenal striker. So sorry. So yeah, they are good moves. I was gonna think, but then you want the Arsenal striker. So yes, feels like he's gonna hurt us. Run of fixtures are fantastic, but he is just that Chelsea are just not playing nearly at the level they should be. So I'm not going anywhere near him, to be honest. Even if he scores a hat trick, I'm still not going anywhere near him. Oh, got such a headache. I've had it all day. So who's next? FPL teacher, 0.9 remaining. Okay, Sorry, Stones is an interesting one. Probably not one that I'd pick. But your defence looks solid. Patricio is an interesting one. Sterling. Camarasa. Okay. So, yeah. Presumably you normally play a 4-3-3. If everyone was fit, you'd start Stones or Wan-Bissaka over Camarasa. Camarasa is on penalties, by the way. Camarasa, I think he's second choice penalty taker over whoever took it at the weekend and missed. So we have been told that Camarasa will probably take the next one if they ever get one. 0.9 in the bank. What do I look to do? Nothing major, to be honest. I'd probably bank that, to be honest. I'd probably start Stones over Alonso, if I'm honest. Alonso, I just don't fancy him. Long term, I'd probably downgrade Alonso a long way and then upgrade Camarasa to someone like like Fraser. I don't know. So you'd probably have to get. You could probably get a sort of 5-6 mil centre back or defender instead of Alonso, and then get Fraser instead of Camarasa. That's what I'd look to do there, teacher. So Clement not in the bank. Doherty to Kolasinac as my transfer. Interesting. Playing Gibbs White as a differential. Playing Gibbs White. Oh, for Newcastle. Okay. I'd probably start Balbuena ahead of him in case Balbuena plays. But you've got Fabianski. So, you've already done your transfer. Team looks good. Absolutely bench Alonso. Fraser first sub. Yeah. Looking nice. Aubameyang captain. You are the Ken's Broms one. I am that Ken's Broms one. Oh, this one. Okay. So 1 mil in the bank. What did you say? Oh, you didn't. So I presume you have 1 mil in the bank, one free transfer. Okay. Arnautovic to presumably you're playing 4-4-2. I mean, I personally would get rid of Salah because 4, 5. Yeah, I'd personally get rid of Salah, to be honest. I wouldn't necessarily do it straight away, but next week you could do something like Alonso, Salah, and Arnautovic out, and you could get Kane, Sane, and a cheaper defender in. I just not 4-2-2 4-4-2. Yeah, 4-4-2. Yeah, I'd personally look to get rid of Salah. I just don't think he's worth it. Maybe after this week. So maybe this week. To be honest, this week if you do, would I play Kamara or Højbjerg? Højbjerg, because of his fixture. Sorry. So if you did Alonso to someone cheaper, and then so you kept Salah, and you played Dean Robertson, Alonso, who are your Alonso replacement, Doherty, and maybe even Wan, and then played 4-5-4-1, but exactly who you play, not sure. Alonso, someone cheaper, and then next week Salah to Sane and Arnautovic to Kane is what I'd look at. But get some of that money out of Alonso this week before his price plummets. Salah down to Sane and bring in Kane. Right. I think that's all of them that have been tweeted. What time is it? past. Anyone know? Sorry, Jimenez essential? No, I don't think he is essential. Let me go back. Oh no, I need some of these questions. Jimenez essential? No, he's not essential. Absolutely not. He is playing well and he's a good option, but he's not essential. No one's essential, but he is one of the better picks. Anyone thought about Adone from Brighton when Glenn injured? Only 5 mil. Yeah, I don't think Murray will be out for that long, so it's quite a short-term pick. Kamara just got a goal and United can't defend for shit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Kamara playing. I don't think he'll probably get anything from the game, but he is definitely one that I'd want. I'm quite happy to have in my team. You need to get rid of Arnautovic this week. Yeah, you do. Um, mm, you do really, don't you? Unless you don't and you hold out for 1 week, but you're setting yourself up for a bad week. Mitrovic is my favourite replacement for him, if that's what you're asking. Um, if you want one replacement for Arnautovic, I'd go Mitrovic. I know you've got Kamara, but you've got Fraser, so Mitrovic for me is the best replacement. Yeah, they're both probably going to return 2 points, so um, yeah, let's do that. So Arnie to Wilson. Yeah, if you've got Fraser though, their fixtures aren't good enough, I think, to have double. But I don't have one, so I think I'm quite biased anti-Bournemouth at the moment because of their fixtures. But I seem to be getting burnt by them again and again. Yeah, my headache. I might have to. Yeah, guys. So just getting your final questions, please. Just a reminder to anyone who's sort of come halfway through, you might see on the stream now that we've got a stream sponsor in Fantasy Football Factory. You get 10% off and a free pen on every order you make. On every order, 10% off and a free pen. With the code FFF, 10% FPLTIPZ. It's quite a long code, but it's great for Christmas presents and everything like that. So go check them out. Go and have a look. Tell your friends as well. That code, 10% off and a free pen. What's not to like? So yeah, would really help them out, help me out. They're new, starting up, and if you message them, go and go and message them, and they can do personalized things as well for someone if you want their name on it or their Twitter name or whatever. Yeah, to be honest, I would look to get Kane. I think he's essential over this Christmas period. Yeah, guys. So if there are no more questions, I will say sorry. If there are no more questions, then sorry. Thoughts on Arsenal defender as their fixtures look decent? Of course it's Bellerin and probably Bellerin only. Their centre backs look alright, but I think Bellerin's the best and cheap and one of the cheaper. Well, not the cheaper, but he's quite affordable. He's not like paying Alonso prices or Robertson prices. So Bellerin for me. Will Martial play as he's had a knock? No. Martial will unlikely not play. Kolasinac again, but you need to make sure he doesn't get replaced by Monreal. Martial play? No, I think probably not. Yep, Kolasinac. Sorry, I missed him. The only thing I worry about is if Monreal comes back, but Monreal will probably fill the centre back spot, so you're probably alright. What to do with Mane? Again, unlikely to play this week, but then 1 week more, he should be back. So if you want him in your team, keep him. If you wanted to sell him before the weekend because he's not going to play this weekend. Unlikely. I don't think Jose will risk Martial when they have the derby against Liverpool the week after. No, I don't think he's playing, and he's told us. I think it's quite clear that Martial won't play. Double Arsenal defence. I wouldn't go double. They're good value, but I think there's better options to double up. As you know, and as you've all heard me rattle on, I'm not a fan of double defence. But one of them is definitely a good pick, and they could be my Alonso replacement. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming back again. We'll be back to our normal Tuesday stream next week, Tuesday at 7:30, and I will see you all there. Yeah, so thank you all, and I will see you next Tuesday. Any other questions, I will be happy to answer them on Twitter. But thanks, guys. Bye.